Hi there and welcome. My name is Kayla and this is episode 3 of an Average Knitter podcast. I'm recording today in sunny, very warm southeastern Wisconsin in the United States. I live here as a part-time teacher and wife and mama with my husband and 2 little kids. We are on summer break. I'm teaching just a little bit of summer school in our local school district, so finished that this morning. The kids are upstairs playing, and I was really anxious to record this next episode. I looked back at YouTube, and it's been almost exactly 2 months since the last episode, which was almost exactly 2 months after the first episode, so maybe this is just what we're gonna go with, something every 2 months. This is finished. It's a finished object. I hinted at this in the last video, so I'm excited to share it with you today. Talk a little bit about another sweater that I've made and loved. Oh my gosh, I have to go grab another, I have a project on the needles. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, got it, I'm ready. This is my project bag. Whew. It has been a busy and wonderful last 2 months. I am so glad that the school year is over. We have started a few really nice rhythms together as a family for the summer, a little bit of summer school, swimming lessons, time outside, time with friends. We had a trip up to see family for Memorial Day. Most of our family members don't live near us. We had a trip together as just our little family unit over to La Crosse last weekend. So yeah, we've just been busy and around. And it's hot outside, so I turned the AC up actually so I could wear this sweater today and talk to you about it. This is my 1979 Raglan, designed by Summer Lee. I think it was like a suggestion on Ravelry. I had seen a picture of it on Ravelry and loved the stripes and thought, oh my goodness, I really want to make that. I've made one sweater for myself that worked out well. If you've watched previous episodes, you know that I've attempted a couple of other sweaters for myself, and for one reason or another, they didn't go well. They seemed like epic fails in my mind. So I was really excited about this one. The pattern is pretty straightforward. You need to pay for the pattern, purchase it from Summer Lee or on Ravelry. The picture, the icon, is this striped version, but the pattern was originally published without instructions for the stripes. So I read other people's notes, I read Summer's notes about it. She made this one, so this striped, oh, you can't see the bottom. There it is. She made this striped version with KnitPicks Wool of the Andes worsted. There we go. KnitPicks is affordable. Everything that I've ever purchased from them, I have really liked. It's worked really well. I wanted to pick colors that I thought suited me, and we'll get into that in a little bit. It was kind of tricky to know how much to purchase because I was mostly making a size large, and there wasn't anyone who had made a size large who specifically listed what they had done. So I purchased 2 skeins each of 8 colors, but one of those was cream, which I think I purchased 4 skeins of, and I have leftover yarn. I had to break into the second skein for every color except for this one, which is called Pumpkin. So I had plenty of yarn, didn't run out of yarn, which is a really good thing. I really like this sweater. It was challenging and I learned a lot. The last time we talked about it, I think I was up to about the armpit. I was starting to split for the sleeves and I was feeling really good about it. It was going really quickly because it's worsted weight yarn. I think I used size 6 needles and started making the sleeves, attached them, and then you start doing the Raglan decreases. And I was all the way up to the neckline. Like I had started the ribbing for the neckline and I went and tried it on, looked in the mirror, and it was awful. It was so funny. It was like everything from the bottom on up was great. You can see that I have lots of ease here. It fits my mama tummy really comfortably. And then here it just got funny. Like there wasn't enough fabric from the armpit up to here. It was tight and just everything about it was funny. So I stopped. I took a deep breath. I like looked at it in the mirror. I tried it on inside out, all these different ways. And I realized I had read the instructions wrong or not completely enough. That when you're doing the Raglan decreases, you do a row of decreases and then you do a normal row and a row of decreases and a normal row. And I had just done decrease, 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 decrease. So no wonder it was too tight and there wasn't enough fabric and it was so short because I had made it, like I had decreased twice as fast essentially as I was supposed to. So I thought, oh, okay, I know what I did wrong. I'm gonna go back to, the armpit and try again the way that it's written. So I did that. Again, got all the way up to the neckline and tried it on in the mirror and went, oh my gosh, it's not right again. Because, now looking back, I totally get why it happened, but I just wasn't thinking in the moment. So finished measurements. I chose the size I wanted to make based on the finished measurements. I was meeting gauge. I knew that wasn't the problem. And then I remembered, and maybe this has happened to you too, I've had this problem before in sewing. I have to make a full bust adjustment for myself. And I've kind of almost stopped sewing tops or things that go on my top just because it's tricky to make a full bust adjustment. I know it can be done. I know it can be done well. But when I sew, I want to sit down and enjoy it and go kind of quickly. And I can do that with quilting. I can do that with things for my kids. I struggle to do that for myself. It's so much work. I don't enjoy the process. I know some people really enjoy the process. I don't. So again, like it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh my gosh. When I was looking at this finished measurement, I was thinking about my tummy. I was thinking about my chest. But from here to here, I don't need that. Like this doesn't need to be a size large for me. This could be a size medium or almost a size small. So I ripped back a second time to the armpits and I thought about it. I did a little writing and graphing and math. And finally, I just started decreasing whenever and wherever I wanted to because I just wanted to finish it. So you can see like here, oh, that's so smooth. The Kitchener stitch went so well in this armpit. But you knit the Raglan pattern just a little bit and then you start to decrease. So I decided to decrease pretty quickly on the front, but not as much on the back. And I really like how the back, oh, I really like this one. I really like this one. I really like how the back looks. It looks good. It fits good. It fits how I want it to. Here, I still feel like I have a little extra fabric right here, which is part of that full bust adjustment. But number one, I just wanted to be done and I didn't want to think about it anymore. I just wanted to finish. And number two, when I started this, I envisioned it as a little bit of an oversized, really warm fall or winter sweater. I did not want it to be form-fitting. I can imagine wearing a collared shirt under this, or something, kind of with a cowl neck underneath. This is something that I would throw on, at the cabin or a really cold winter day before I go outside to play with the kids. So it's not meant to be incredibly fitted. So I feel, let's see if I step back. So I feel good about it. I also feel like I don't want to think about full bust adjustments anymore. Yeah, so I feel good about it. I feel like it's going to work for what I want it to. And that's good enough for me. It's not perfect, but I don't want to take the time to make it perfect. A couple other things. I created a split hem at the bottom. I watched a couple YouTube tutorials and just did it. That's not a part of the pattern. I did it again because I feel like it fits my tummy and my hips better, and I'm really happy with that. Really, really like the split hem. I did 10 rows per stripe until I got to this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, I did 10 for the sleeve as well. And then only did 9 after the armpit because I wanted to make sure I didn't have too much sweater up here. So just did 9 rows per stripe. I made the sleeves a size medium. So the rest of this is a size large up to here, and then it's whatever I wanted to do right here. I made the sleeves a size medium. So that was something else I was thinking about when I was trying to figure out why this part didn't fit as well as I wanted it to. That there were fewer stitches here to work with. So again, it's all part of those are all pieces of the puzzle, right? Parts of the equation. This was my first bottom-up Raglan sweater, and really only my second successful sweater. I think the next time I try a Raglan, I want to try top down, because that's a very different fitting process, and I can see in real time how it's fitting specifically this area right here. I added a couple short rows in the back as well. This blue, the green and the blue had a couple of short rows as well, just to bring the neckline a little bit higher. So I'm happy with it. I am glad to be done with it. I loved how quickly worsted weight yarn worked up, except it didn't work out quickly because I had to tear back 2 times, but that's okay. That happens. I don't want to make this pattern again for a while, but that's because I have some things to figure out. It was a well-written pattern. There was one like slip knit. There was something that was unclear to me in the instructions. So I just messaged someone on Ravelry who had recently finished the sweater, and their sweater looked fabulous, and asked, hey, this particular part, I'm not sure which way to slip it. And this person shared how they had slipped the stitch, and I did that, and it worked. It worked really well. So Ravelry for the win. Someone was so kind to share what they thought and what had worked for them. So back to the colors of the stripes. Kind of a tangent. I've heard a couple of other bloggers or podcasters talk about this. Colors, that's a very, in my mind, that's a very like 1980s kind of idea. Like that was something that was a part of my mom's younger years. Your colors, what season are you? A spring or summer, warm or cool toned? And I had followed a few influencers or Instagram accounts of people who went and got their colors done, and it was fascinating. It was so cool. So maybe a year and a half ago, that was a present from my husband to me, to see someone local who is affiliated with a brand called House of Color and get my colors done. And it's this really fascinating process of holding up different colored scarves and just watching how your appearance changes in the mirror. And I am definitely someone who thrives in warm tones, which I had kind of suspected, but the warm tones were very different than the ones that I thought would be my best. So in the House of Color program, I am a spring, so warm, bright, clear tones work best for me. This is not warm and bright and clear. This is warm, but not bright. It's a little bit more muted. This is the kind of thing I gravitated towards before, like mustards, autumn leaf colors, things like that. But when I hold like this up and then something brighter and clear, I can see the difference in my countenance, in my appearance. But I had to throw this in because I love it. I needed a little mustard. So my goal when I was choosing yarn and thinking about the stripes for this sweater was choosing colors that were in my season or that were complementary to me. That's a little bit tricky to do when you're purchasing yarn online from KnitPicks, but I found that the pictures pretty closely resembled what I was hoping for. So let me show you. I have this fan, and it's full of color samples, and I can compare these to items that I'm thinking about purchasing or making and see how they fit. So let's go towards, here we go. So these are blues that are complementary, and if you look at how that blue is almost a perfect match. Almost. Let's go to purple. So you can see again, very close. This is a little bit more jewel toned, a little richer, but again, close. So it was so fun to, oh yeah, so fun to look for yarn colors. There we go. Again, very close. Not quite perfect, not exact, but it was so fun to look for colors that would match, that would be appropriate. Here we go. Now you can see this is a good example. So it's showing up really strongly on camera. This top color, apple green, is very bright and clear and springy. And this green, you can see it has little threads of gray in it, so it's much more muted. So this is not a very springy green, but again, I liked it. I thought it worked. So I love that I chose the colors that I wanted to for this sweater. It looks different than the examples, but of course, why would we make something that looks exactly like the examples unless you wanted to? Yeah, so love this, love, love, love this. But no full bust adjustments anytime soon. I am going to pause the video so I can quick change sweaters. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. No more costume changes. This is Andrea Mowry's Weekender. La la la, you can't quite see the bottom. Maybe there we go. If I stand on my tippy toes. I love, love, love this sweater and love everything Andrea Mowry that I've ever made. This I made a little more than a year ago. It's my first ever successful sweater for myself. Berroco Ultra Alpaca. It is soft, a tiny bit scratchy, but everyone's tolerance of, you know, perceived scratchiness or not, softness or not, wool right against your skin, everyone's is different. I knew I wanted gray. I wanted something neutral. I knew I wanted a warm toned gray, and actually you can't see, but if you were here with, you can see a little bit there. Like right there's kind of brownish greenish tones, and then there's also some warm blue tones throughout as well. So I knew I wanted warm gray. Wasn't sure what kind of yarn. Went to a local yarn shop and saw this. They actually had a different Andrea Mowry cardigan knitted up in this ultra alpaca, and they had it available, or, you know, like on display to look at. So I was looking at it and touching it and, you know, just really going nuts. And I thought, I think that's going to work. It was affordable, like kind of like it wasn't as affordable as Wool of the Andes, but it also wasn't something much more expensive. So for me, it was affordable. Still, it was an expensive sweater, but for me, it was affordable. I would knit again with this yarn, but it's very hairy, which I knew, but that might not be your thing. But it pills, what I feel like is a lot. That's okay with me. I also wear this sweater a lot. Like even right now, I'm feeling really comfortable in it. Like I might keep this on for a while. It pills a lot though, so, you know, like take that into consideration. But it's nothing you can't take care of. And again, it's because I wear it so much and I really like it. The pattern is so clear, so well written. Of course, there were things I didn't know. Again, you can find YouTube tutorials, so it wasn't a problem. Blocking was extra helpful with this sweater because I was going for a very specific finished circumference. I was going for between 6 and 8 inches of positive ease. I think the recommendation is up to 10, and I was thinking, you know, between 6 and 8, and that would give me a really comfortable fit at the waist and hips, which it did. And again, it has that split hem. This is why I chose to do a split hem on the 1975 Raglan, because I loved it so much on the Weekender. Where was I going with that? Okay, split hem, la 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 la. This is knit bottom up. So like gauging the length is a little bit tricky, but I feel I did the best job that I could have, and I'm really, really happy with it. Blocking was so helpful, again, like that specific circumference. And so as I'm laying it on the mats to dry it, I'm measuring with a tape measure. And I was shooting for 44 inches, and the easiest, like smoothest, best way to lay it out while blocking was about 46 inches in circumference, and it's fabulous. It just worked out super fabulously. I love this sweater because It works for so many body types and body shapes, and it's very, like, it's meant to be loose and drapey. Also, I really like the drape of this yarn. But it, like, you can see how much ease I have right now, and I love it. I feel like it's perfect and so flattering. But when I first made this for myself, I was probably, like, I was a different weight and a different size by about 15 pounds. And all of that, you know, has changed up here. This is the part of me that has changed. And the sweater is still just as flattering as it was 15 pounds ago. And I love that. I still feel just as good. It's still very flattering, and it's just the nature of the pattern and the ease that's written into the pattern. And I just love that. I just love that. I feel like the shape and the construction of this would not lend itself as easily to this. This is going to look oversized or too small, for my personal preference, a lot faster than this is. I feel like this still looks absolutely perfect, and it looked absolutely perfect 15 pounds ago, and it will continue to look absolutely perfect. And maybe that's just because I love it so much. So I would recommend it if you are a person who maybe is changing sizes, or you think you might change sizes, or you're just thinking about, you know, your full bust or your mama tummy or your hips or whatever. I just love this. I love this for that. Love it for that. I washed it. Maybe I talked about this in my first video. So I wore it a lot. Wore it so much. I washed it a couple months ago, and I was shocked to see how dirty the water was. It wasn't dye, like it was dirt. It was clearly dirt. It was disgusting. And, you know, laid it back out again, blocked it again after that, and it looked and felt and smelled so fresh when I was done. So good. And the stitch definition was so clean and crisp. It made me want to wash everything, like everything that I've knit, because it just was such a positive difference. I would love to know if you are someone who has made the Weekender or other sweaters or things that you wear frequently. Like in the winter, this is at least a once a week type thing for me, and maybe 2 times a week. How often do you wash it, and what kind of difference do you notice before and after you wash it? My favorite way to wear this is with, I don't have it today, but a tank top, a big kind of oversized tank top from Old Navy. They don't sell them anymore, but it was like a curved bottom, and so I would wear this with leggings, like very fitted leggings, but then this curved, almost kind of tunic underneath. The tunic would peek out underneath the sweater, and it was just so fabulous. I love it. I love it so much. So that's the Weekender. I'm thinking about making another one soon, just because I love it so much, and maybe this time in a bright color, like maybe a pink or a coral. I'm so drawn to corals and pinks. Like maybe something here. I don't know. We'll see. I would also love to make the Weekender light. I think I would love the drape and the feel of the fabric, but I don't want to take the time to knit a me-sized sweater in fingering weight. If you've ever made the Weekender light, I would love to hear how that compared to the Weekender. Because again, when I made this, like, it takes a long time. It's a sweater, but I felt like it knitted up quickly. So, like, would it take me twice as long with fingering weight? I don't know. Okay, so what's on the needles right now? I am excited about this. I don't have a lot of time to knit right now, but I started this on, I think, our car ride for Memorial Day weekend. Socks! I'm making socks. It's so exciting. This is the crazy, I almost said the Crazy Cat Lady. This is the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks pattern on double pointed needles. I watched the YouTube tutorial a couple times, and then purchased the pattern so I could have, like the written version and follow along. And once I got started, it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. So I chose to make the cuff just a little bit shorter than what was written. And then this part is also shorter than what was written. I've tried it on several times and I love it. It feels perfect to me. So here's where we're at. I have small feet, so it's almost time to start decreasing. I love it. And it's so easy to pick back up and just keep going. Somewhere along the line, my marker fell off for the beginning of the row, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. They're just socks, right? They're just socks. I'm loving this. This is so, so fun. This yarn is from Shirsty, Shirsty, Shirsty Cat Designs. It was on sale a few months ago at a local yarn shop. And I love the colors. Love, love, love the colors. And you can see, it just, yeah, I love it. Love it, love it. That same yarn shop is having a sale. Let's see, today's Tuesday. They're having a sale tomorrow, and it's 29% off. So I have my eyes on a DK weight cotton polyester nylon, anyways, like a summer blend DK weight that is kind of a variegated cream or natural color. So I really want to go take a look at that. Tomorrow I have to bring my kids with. I don't know if they'll be excited about going to a yarn shop. We'll see. And I have my eye on a few other things. It's always fun to pick up a skein of fingering weight, especially now that I know how enjoyable socks are to make. So we'll see, but that's my hope, is to get there tomorrow and pick some things up. I would love to start a cardigan. I'm thinking maybe the no frills cardigan, but again, we'll see. I'll tell you about it next time. I would love to start a lightweight kind of summer autumn cardigan for myself. Finish the socks, maybe think about another weekender, and just pace myself. Like it's not a race. I'm really enjoying what I have to do. I loved picking up the striped sweater and just, keep going. It's always very motivating to try to get to the next color. I'm loving the socks right now. Yeah. I think that's it. That's all I had to talk with you about today. Thank you for spending time with me. This is really enjoyable. I've been itching to share some of my progress with you. I would love to hear anything you have to share about the Weekender or the 1979 Raglan. Do you have to make full bust adjustments to your sweaters? What do you find works best or is successful for you? Do you prefer bottom up or top down? Just please tell me all about what you do and what you prefer for you and your body type and your style and your lifestyle. The Black Sheep Knitter in Madison, Wisconsin, which is close by, she is planning to host a ranunculus knit, I almost said sew along, knit along, starting in September, I think. So maybe I need to look for yarn for that as well. Again, that's top down. So I feel like I would really enjoy that process and fitting it along the way. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, one more thing. Barber cords. So those are like the hot thing right now, or maybe they're not hot anymore. Maybe I missed the boat. I saw them recommended somewhere. I heard about them, and then Andrea Mowry mentioned them in one of her I'll Knit If I Want To podcast episodes. And I was at that point where I was in between, ripping the striped sweater back, trying to figure out how to make it fit better. And I thought, man, if I could just try it on, but not have to, run a rescue line or like a piece of scrap yarn through the whole row to, you know what I'm talking about, trying to try it on. That would be so much easier. And I found out about barber cords and learned a little bit more about them and went, oh, that's exactly what I need. That will really help me keep going in this striped Raglan sweater. And the local yarn shops, there were like 2 local yarn shops that carried them, but they were out. And then there was another local yarn shop that had some, but I couldn't get there while they were open. Like it was maybe like the last week of school. It was a crazy last week. Plus I had some evening commitments. Plus they were open kind of funny hours and my hours were extra funny and I just couldn't get there. And I was trying to figure out what to do. And so I started looking on Joann because I knew I was going to be in a town where there was a Joann, and I thought they've got to have something. And I found something. Now, as far as I know, because I still haven't gotten actual barber cords, but as far as I know, this is what barber cords are. It is a tiny, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus. You can kind of see it. So it's a tiny hollow silicone tube. I believe it's 1.5 millimeters, which from what I searched online is what barber cords are. This was in a big pack, like about this big. It was in their craft section, close to the jewelry, and it was a pack of like 50 of these for $5. And what my local yarn stores were selling, I love them. I love my local yarn stores. I'm going to one tomorrow. But they were selling just a few of these for like $18 because they're prepackaged. So I don't remember what these are called. I don't have the package anymore because I just took them all out and started trying them and they worked. But it's this 24 inches. This looks like 24 inches to me, maybe 30 inches. Hey girls, my little kids are coming down the stairs. But this totally works. If I had a circular needle here, I would show you. So anyways, if you're looking for barber cords, or you want to try them out, but you don't want to invest in all the different sizes and lengths, or if you want to buy a big pack and hand them out to all your friends to try, go to Joann's and look for, it's like a bag this big, but a whole bunch of these multicolored. This totally worked. This saved me. Oh, hey. This saved me while I was working on my Raglan sweater. So anyways, there you go. A dupe, a hack. Is that what you would call it? A dupe or a hack? For barber cords. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Thank you.